Hey guys, Jacob here again. Today, we're rebuilding a Caretaker valve with an OEM 5.9/2001 Caretaker rebuild kit. Hey guys, we're back. All right, let's install this Caretaker rebuild kit. So right now in front of me, I have both a 2-inch valve and an 1.5-inch valve. Obviously look a lot alike. Check out our video to identify your valve. However, if you have a 2-inch valve or an 1.5-inch valve, this gear kit will work for both. So it's universal. Doesn't matter what size valve you have, 1.5-inch or 2-inch, the 5.9/2001, it will definitely work for your valve. So let's go ahead and dive in. So the items that are required or that I like to use myself are we're gonna do this on an 1.5-inch valve. So I got the valve, I have the rebuild kit, I have gloves. This gets kind of messy sometimes. Screwdriver, towel to wipe your hands off sometimes. And I like to use a drill to make things go faster. So these are the tools required that I like to use. So let's go ahead and we're just gonna dive right in. So let's go ahead and I'm gonna put my gloves on because this gets kind of messy. Because after the years, your valve is sitting in water, nasty water sometimes. And also the lube on the O-rings is disgusting after it's been in there for 5 to 10 years. So, pop some gloves on. Now I'm gonna open up my gear kit, get all of my parts in a row. So I can show you what it comes like from the factory. So here's the actual gear assembly they put inside this handy dandy little bubble foam that they like to protect it from shipping. So sometimes, which we'll notice from shipping, one of these little tabs will break off, so just contact us, we'll send you a new one if you bought it from us. So that's our gear kit. Leave the rubber band on. Do not take the rubber band off. If that gear kit falls apart, I feel so bad for you. I feel bad, because it's a nightmare putting that back together. Next step, 2 O-rings, big O-rings. 5 pistons, so they actually go, like they're hard to push. That's a good thing. So we're gonna have our 5 pistons. So we get the rest of the gloves out. Okay. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 small O-rings. They decided to give me an extra O-ring in this box. Thanks, Caretaker. So I'm gonna throw my box away. Comes with handy dandy instructions in case you don't want to watch this video. Watch the video. New to Caretaker is this nice hard plastic bag. They used to come in this little Ziploc thing, and then sometimes you get hardware all over the bottom of your box. So they come with a nice little dealio. So we're gonna leave that right there until we need to open it. Let's dive in. Does not come with a screen ever, so keep your screen. There's a big O-ring on the outside of the valve. That's really hard to get off. It does not come with that either, so make sure you keep your big O-ring. It's also your union O-ring. Okay, this is a pain in the butt. This is a brand new valve, so it's pretty tight in the factory. There we go. All right. So what you're gonna do first, flip this thing over. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 Phillips screw heads. So let's take them all off. I like to use my drill strictly to loosen these. I will not use my drill to tighten. So there's a little nut on the bottom, and you just loosen it until the nut falls off. Because once I take this bottom plate off, everything falls apart. Like everything falls apart. However, I'm going to show you something to kind of keep it in line so you can actually help yourself identify where everything goes again. Again, can't stress enough, use the drill only for loosening these screws. If you use a drill to tighten these screws back when we put it back together, you will break the valve because it'll go too much, and this valve has extremely weak plastic. Okay, that's all of them. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pinch real tight here. Flip her over. My screws are falling out. No big deal. So I'm gonna push the rest of them out maybe. I'll keep my old parts off to the side. Then we have the valve sitting up like that. So now, just lift off nice and slowly. Look at that, nice and pretty. So the way a caretaker valve works is water passes through the inlet, obviously. Water's dispersed, spins this bad boy, and the gears slightly rotate to lift up one of these ball bearings. And when those ball bearings lifts up, this piston actually, it's almost like a sucking force, goes like that, which now allows water to pass through that hole. Kind of an old design, to be honest with you. This is how the Gould valves back in the day actually worked. I'm shocked Caretaker hasn't updated their design on how these rebuild kits or the way that their 5-port valve works. I know they have a 6-port coming out, which works completely different, which is great. But yeah, so let's dive in. The gear assembly. Strategically, just pull her out, put it off to the side. Because as you will notice, nothing is together on these things. So literally, if I turn this upside down, the gears are falling everywhere. And maybe we'll take a picture of how these go back together, just in case. And I will insert that video or the picture. Let's just call it right here, right where my hand is, right here. There's a picture here now. So that's the way it's gonna be. Next, I'm gonna take this little shaft out. 2 washers. Again, put everything off to the side that's used over here. My ball bearings. Those get kind of rusty sometimes over the years, especially if chemistry's a little off. You got low pH, it'll kind of rub the tarnish off and then they might rust out a little bit. And now these pistons come out, they just wiggle out. Very, very simple. And then I have an O-ring, big O-ring. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen, on how to actually get this thing completely dissected and take apart. Now let's put it back together. We are going to literally put this thing back together the complete backwards way of how I took it apart. So what was the last thing I did? O-ring. Pistons. Pistons, as you can see here, have this little U notch right here. They all face towards the center here. So, and then you press them in. So as you can see, they lock into place to where if I hold this thing upside down, it'll stay into place. So that's how you know you did it right, is everything will be faced towards the center. Just keep going around and around. Okay, awesome. Not to confuse your old stuff there, let's open up our bag of goodies. Into one nice little pile. All right, ball bearings. Go right in these little holes. Really, really straightforward. Next step, gear assembly. So what I'm gonna do is, a good way to do this is you can just pop this thing in there, like a little bit, then cut the rubber band, and that's probably the safest way to do this. Or you hold it all together, move everything, slide the rubber band off, keep it on top like this, and now go ahead and slide your shaft on there. It's all together one piece right now. And then remove your rubber band completely. See how nicely that spins? If it does not spin that nicely, you did something wrong, take it off, redo it. Again, we have the photo of how the gear assembly is. Photo's right here, it's on my hand. Okay, I think you're good. Okay, so now, what am I forgetting? Nothing. So, when you put this thing on, it's not gonna work. unless, I hope you can see this, there's a little notch sticking up right here. Right there, there's a notch sticking up. So on the bottom side of this, there's a big old hole. So the hole lines up with the notch. That's the one way that they want you to line this thing up. So we're gonna do hole, notch, kind of float it in that area. I'm gonna kind of point it towards me so I can see better. And then actually clipped in. I'm not sure if you saw that. I hope you saw that because that's how it goes back together. Hardest part about a 5-port valve is getting these screws back together, okay? So what we can do is you can either try to methodically put a screw in here and tighten the nut that way. Probably wouldn't recommend doing that. The way that I like to do it, you pinch real tight. So you might mess yourself up once or twice. Those ball bearings might fall out. You just gotta open it up and redo it. So let's see if I can get it perfect the first time. Yep. So now I take all my new screws, all my new nuts. I put one screw in. So, just kidding. Told you not to use a drill. So, Phillips. You do one side and you barely tighten it in there. So, I'm just gonna go ahead and hand thread these into the nut underneath of it, hopefully. And then use my screwdriver. So then I barely get it tight, like not even tight actually. There's still a lot more to go tightening that, and now I'm gonna flip it around and tighten this other side. So I wanna throw one in here, because what I don't want those ball bearings on the inside to come loose. So now I'm gonna tighten this side, the same tightness I did the other side, just so we can tighten our lid enough to where we don't have to worry about the stuff inside, and then we can just kind of have a field day of tightening the rest of the screws as needed. So. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Snug, good. Now I can do this side, finish it up, make it snug. All right, so now what I want to show you is on the bottom side here is how these nuts actually go into place perfectly. They slide into a groove right there one way. So that way it's a natural grip, so you don't have to put a pair of pliers on this side. It actually grips all sides of the nut for you. So when you're tightening it, the nut stays in place and you can just have to worry. The only thing you have to worry about is the screw or on the other side. So let's go ahead and turn it back over. And now I'm just gonna go ahead and tighten up the rest of the screws. We're gonna have some really fun music for you for our fast forwarding here, so stay tuned. All right, so I finally got those in. Now, what we're gonna do here is, the kit comes with these 5 little O-rings. I'm gonna show you where they go. These are one of the most important things of the entire valve. If you see them and feel like, I don't need to replace those, you are sadly mistaken, because these things are what actually creates that perfect seal in between all of your ports here. So what you're gonna wanna do is just press these in there nice and gently. And as you will see, they go into the grooves really nice. So it's really easy. And then that creates the perfect seal. So when it goes from station to station, you don't get any bleed through to other stations. And honestly, Caretaker 5-port valves are the best by having 0 bleed through. These valves figured that part out at least, because when you have all the water coming out of here and no pass through on everything else, you're getting 100% water flow dedicated to that one station. So it's really, really awesome that they figured that out with this seal right here, because bypass is not a good thing in pop-up heads. Because if you have bypass, you're not getting the proper flow of pressure. So you want the proper flow and pressure. That way heads go up all the way, pressure goes out all the way, cleans your pool properly. So other than that, this is how you rebuild a Caretaker 5-port valve with the part 5-9-2001. Very simple. It takes a little bit of time. Take your valve off, go inside, kind of like I am here, and then it's really easy. So yeah, I appreciate you guys watching. I'm Jacob with ePoolSupply. Hey everyone, thanks for watching. Subscribe today if you haven't subscribed. Check out the links below, and we got a lot more content coming your way. Thank you.